So is it? Okay, you can try put them up real quick. Testing. No, not testing. So it's not D9 either.
Well, neither
It's gotta be one of those
Mikey.
two. C0 or B9. It's gotta be one of those two.
D9. Okay.
I said I could get another setup.
Okay. Well, we'll change it. Yeah. So weird.
Change cameras.
Oh, I'll turn them off. Okay.
Begin the service with the ringing of the temple bell. At this time, please silence your cell phones and listen quietly as the sounding of the culture is an invitation to settle our hearts and minds as we prepare to receive the Dharma. Thank you.
C0. Okay, we'll mess with him later.
Check later. That's the new one. That's my box. But apparently it's supposed to be C0, so gotta change it away. Karen, just come.
Hello. Thank you for attending today's Dharma Family Service. It's Super Bowl Sunday, so you are all commended for still carving out time to listen to the Dharma. That being said, Reverend Blayne promises to keep today's message short. I'm John Suey. I will serve as your MC, assisting at the temple with technical support, sincerely crew of Al Matsumoto, Lynn Katayama, and Joey Guzman. Corinne Chong is our organist, and Lady Tapioca will lead the singing. Please rise and let us start the service with the Bandana and Tisarana. Please chant both Pali and English parts together with Reverend Blayne. Those of you on Zoom, please mute your mics. Blayne will now share an aspiration.
To reflect on the exact words of the Buddha and the Dhammapada. When there is anger, offer loving kindness. When there is selfishness, offer generosity. When there is deceit, offer truth. Entrusting the dynamic working of all inclusive wisdom and all embracing compassion, we call the name of Amida, the Buddha of infinite light and life, in gratitude, joy, and awareness. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu.
Please be seated. It is now time for offering incense. We invite all Sangha members in attendance to please come up and offer incense. Starting with the front rows and moving towards the back.
This mic on. That's gotta be on. It's gotta be on. That's all. Is he hearing like clicking like right now? Just when I tap the table, just now he heard it. So gotta be the back of that. I don't think you can. I think you can mute this. That mic wasn't off. I can hear us talking, so one of these mics must be on.
Let us observe a moment of silent meditation.
Namandab, 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 namandab.
Reverend Blayne will now lead us in the chanting of the Sutra Juni Rai. Words can be found on the handouts and on the screen.
The Junidai, or 12 Homages, was composed by Nagarjuna, the first of the 7 masters of Jodo Shinshu. Nagarjuna celebrates the beauty, the grandeur, and the preciousness of the Pure Land, which manifests the virtues of Amida Buddha and expresses the desire to be born in the realm of enlightenment. The phrase Koga Chodai Mida Son, or thus I bow to Amida, is repeated 10 times and has the same meaning as Namo Amida Butsu. This expression of dedication reminds us of our commitment to the Buddha and the land of peace, where everyone attains the highest fulfillment of Buddhahood. Kyeshu tenin shokugyo Amida senryo zokuson Zaihi mimyu anrako Muryo bushi shuinyu Konjiki shinjo nyosen no Shamatang yo nyozobu Ryomoku jo nyaku shodenge Konga chodai midason Menzen enjo nyomangat Igo yunyo sennichingat Shonyo tengu kushida Konga chodai midason Kanon chodai kanchiuju Shuju miso hoshogon Nobukuge domageuman Konga chodai midason Mubi mugun go shoujo Shutoku keuget nyogoku Shosari yaku toku jizai Konga chodai midason Jepo myomon bosashu Muryo shomajo sandan Isho shujo gan rikiju Konga chodai midason Kondai hoken shishoke Zengon shoujo myudai za Ohiza jonyo sen no Konga chodai midason Jepo shodai shobushi Gengen jinzu shianda Sengo songen jokugyo Konga chodai midason Shoumu mungato Yakunyo suingaten den yoro Ishu sepo mumyoji Konga chodai midason Hisong buset muwakumyo Yakumun yoning nakudofu 주님 시신 교희선 공가 초라이 미나선 이선 무려 호벤교 무쇼시와 그지식 오조 후다이 시보다이 공가 초라이 미나선 가셋 희선 그도 그지 시센 무헨 영아이시 성야 그센건 소조샤 에세시조 쇼히고 나만 남음 나만 남음 나만 남음 나만 남음 나만 남음 나만 남음 간니싱은 너그 면허세이사이 너헛먼나이싱 오조의 안나고 나만나브 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 나만나브
Next, Betty's going to present a new song for us.
Okay, we were gonna do When We See the Golden Sun, but since we are practicing for Gotha Fest, we're gonna play this video on the screen that has the words, so you can sing along. And we only did one practice, so we're not too good either, but then the more we sing it, the better we get. So hopefully when you listen to this song, it'll make you want to attend the Gotha Fest, which is on the 23rd of this month at Punahonganji. And if some parts are a little hard for you, the easy part is we always repeat Namu Amida Butsu, and I know everybody can say that. Okay, so if you can't say the other parts, at least sing the Namu Amida Butsu part really loud. Okay, so you can watch the video up on the screen, and the words are coming out, the words that you should be singing as it is. And this song is an adaptation of APT by Bruno Mars and Rosé. Okay, here we go. And Maki and I will try to sing along. Huh? Yeah. We can sing here. Yeah. So we can see the.
One, two, three, four, five, six. NAB Namandats, NAB Namandats, NAB Namandats, say Namo Amida Butsu, 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 It's the Buddha, it's the Dharma, it's the Sangha, all three. Three triple treasures here for me. I'm talking peace, bliss, love, joy, what can I say? Meter, hey, what's up? Oh, oh, oh. Don't you hear him as he calls out to you? Don't you hear him like I think you do? Feel his love and embrace his teaching. All you gotta do is just gasho and say Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Hey, so now you know the way. Are you ready? Cause I'm coming to get ya. Pure land, we're on our way. Mama Babutsu, we're on our way. Pure land, we're on our way. Mama Babutsu, we're on our way. Don't you hear him as he calls out to you? Don't you hear him like I think you do? Feel his love and embrace his teaching. All you gotta do is just gasho and say Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Just gasho and say Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Just gasho and say Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Just gasho and say Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu.
Okay, I think we're ready for the Super Bowl now. Okay. All right, well. Today's Dharma message will be shared by Reverend Blayne.
Namandabs, 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 naman. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here on the Super Bowl Sunday. I wish I could tell you that by being here, your team will definitely win this afternoon. And that saying the Nembutsu somehow has the power to tilt the needle in your favor. However, what I can guarantee you is that by listening to the Dharma, we can learn to appreciate both winning and losing, and the pure enjoyment of the game. Well, I know that this is a lot harder when you don't win the pool, yeah? And depends how much you put in, yeah? So, but don't let that stop you from enjoying, right? The game, the ono food, right? The time with good friends and loved ones, right? It's these moments, right, of togetherness that remind us of what is truly important in life and how we need to discover joy in each unrepeatable moment. You know, in these dark times, right, the story of Shakyamuni Buddha's birth, enlightenment, and death reveals to us a spiritual journey of awakening and becoming, which we discover our true and real inner light. In his last moments, the Buddha encouraged the disciples to make yourself a light, rely upon yourself, do not depend on anyone else, make my teachings your light, rely upon them, and do not depend on any other teaching. And we continue to revere these words by reflecting on the infinite light and life of the Buddha and living with profound gratitude. The late Buddhist master Thich Nhat Hanh believed we teach by our way of life. We teach with our hands while we are doing things, with our feet while we are walking, with our mouth when we are eating or speaking, and with our eyes when we are looking. This simply means that teaching the Dharma by the way we live our daily life. This is what Shakyamuni Buddha taught us as he lay dying between the twin solitaries, that if we were to only see his physical body, we were not truly seeing him, but only by accepting and living the teachings could we truly see him and encounter him. An example of this Dharma, of teaching the Dharma, right, by the way we live, is illustrated by this following story from the Zen tradition. It's called Teaching a Thief. Bankei was a famous Zen teacher in Japan long ago. Students from all over came to his monastery for months of study and meditation. To make it through such intensive training is not an easy thing. There is much hard work to be done, many hours of meditation, little sleep, and only small, sparse meals. Once, during a time at the monastery, a student found that all that he could meditate upon was his empty stomach. It was also all that he could drink, all that he thought about during work, and all that he thought about even while eating. Right? How many people keep thinking about food? Even after, yeah? Right? Finally, he could not stand it any longer. In the night, ever so quietly, he sneaked into the kitchen, hoping to make off with a little something tasty and filling. But the head cook, always alert and even when asleep, awoke and caught him. The next morning, the matter was brought to Bankei in hopes that the student would be forced to leave. However, much to the group's dismay, Bankei thanked them for the information and acted as if nothing had happened. Just a few days later, the same pupil was caught stealing food from the kitchen again. Alan? The students grew even angrier. It was the middle of the night when the thief was apprehended, but they wrote a petition right then and there to their teacher, Bankei. They each vowed to leave the monastery the next day if the thief was not expelled. When Bankei read the petition the next morning, he sighed. He went outside to the monastery gardens and paced thoughtfully. At last, he asked that all the monks and the students, including the thief, be brought together. They gathered in the temple hall, becoming quiet when Bankei entered. Many of you have come from far away to be here, announced Bankei. Your hard work and perseverance are to be praised. You are excellent, dedicated students. You have also clearly shown to me that you know right from wrong. If you wish, you may leave this monastery and find another teacher. But I must tell you that the thief will remain, even as my only student. The students were appalled. A murmur of discontent hummed around the room. How could their teacher ask them to leave? Who had done the wrong thing? Only the thief. Feeling the anger of the other students, the thief in their midst hung his head in disgrace. My friends, Bankei gently continued, this thief does not understand the difference between right and wrong as you do. If he leaves, how will these things be learned? He needs to stay here so he can understand. When the thief heard these words, he was profoundly moved. Tears sprung up in his eyes, but even though through his shame in front of the others, he felt Bankei's deep compassion, he knew that he would not steal anymore. Bankei ended his speech. He left the hall, leaving the students to make their individual decisions. The thief immediately took a spot on the meditation bench and set about meditating. Many of the students stood right up to leave the monastery, somewhat confused by Bankei's speech. They discussed things among themselves, all except for the presence of one student, the thief. The great hall emptied for a time. When Bankei returned an hour later, it was so very quiet. And he assumed that all the students had left, just as they had vowed. But much to his surprise, every last student had returned. All were quietly sitting, composed in meditation. The wise and kind Bankei smiled at such a wonderful sight. Right, and so this story, right, shares with us the way that we model behavior, right, that for others, right? That in Shin Buddhism, right, we live with the spirit of Jixing Kyo Ningxing. You can see that on the writing on the wall above the MC podium, right? To secure our own entrusting heart to the Dharma, guiding others to the same path. Right, this is the life of Nembutsu that was taught by Shinran Shonin. Our everyday life is this place of practice where we encounter our true self within the embrace of wisdom and compassion. Right, this is how Shinran continues to live on through us as we walk the path he shared. Right, but isn't this the most challenging task? Right, it often seems like the life of Shakyamuni and Shinran seems so far removed from our lives, right, so out of reach. But we need something, right, that connects us to that truth, right? This is what, in Buddhism, we have this phrase called the finger pointing to the moon, right? That Professor Takamoto Shigaraki writes, between the finger and the moon lies a vast distance. As a result, we are able to see the moon for the first time only because of the finger, right? But we should never mistake the finger for the moon, for that truth, right, that we are encountering, that it points us to, right? He says that if we look up into the heavens on our own, we might not look toward the moon. Without question, there must be a finger, the Dharma or person that can relate it to us, that can teach us about the moon, right? For us, Amida Buddha's story is that finger. The entire teaching of Amida Buddha points us to that truth that is always calling out to us. Right, and so, right, the Nembutsu, right, is the activity of Amida Buddha, which connects us to the moon. It's the ultimate reminder of the world of awakening that is always present in our lives. Right, Namo Amida Butsu is our simple yet profound practice of living within the embrace of wisdom and compassion. Right, so on Nirvana Day, right, we reflect on the eternal light of Shakyamuni Buddha found in his teachings, right, that lives on in the truth and in the practice of the Dharma. You know, just as all parents, right, and educators know, how children and students learn is through observing behavior, right? That children, right, pick up amazing things when we're not looking or thinking, right? And we have a responsibility to model, right, wholesome behavior if we hope to share it with others. Right, so every year, our preschool celebrates the Great Kindness Challenge. So as of the last week in January, they make flower bouquets. I think they made at least 30 to 40 this year. And they give it out, one bouquet out to people in the community. And this is the bouquet that they gave me. And I look forward to this every year when they come by and they present this flower bouquet, right? And they also, well, we couldn't do it this year, but it was storming, right? But they usually go and sign wave and ask people to be kind, right? Along the street here, on the highway, right? And so we model the behavior that we wish to see others, our children, emulate, right? That we are responsible, right? For teaching, for guiding, for sharing, right? These values in a way that we need to live, right? Not just talk about, but to actually live it, right? And even more in today's world, we need this sense of modeling this kind of behavior, since so many in our world today lack compassion, lack kindness, lack the sense of concern and for the welfare of others, right? We should always remember the lesson he shared, the Buddha's lesson, right, with his disciple, one of his great disciples, Mahakassapa, when he was first introduced to the Dharma. He says, whatever teaching I hear that is conducive to something wholesome, I shall listen with an attentive ear, examining it, reflecting on it, absorbing it with all my heart. This is the dynamic path of spiritual transformation and peace we share as disciples of the Buddha. So let's continue to seek the wholesome together as we strive to bring light into our world. And so in closing, please join me in Gassho to reflect on the Buddha's teaching that we should cultivate by embodying for others. When there is anger, offer loving kindness. When there is selfishness, offer generosity. When there is deceit, offer the truth. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Thank you.
Thank you for your message, Reverend Blayne. I will now lead the unison reading of the Golden Chain of Love. Words can be found on the laminated handouts in the back of the pews and on the screen. Please recite the words out loud together with me. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that what thence only my happiness and also that of others. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Thank you, everyone. We will now have the offertory presentation. Mahalo for your generosity, which helps to sustain our temple. Please rise as we conclude the service with singing of the Gatha, Nembutsu.
Namandab, 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 namandab.
You may be seated. This concludes today's service. Here are some announcements. Upcoming schedule of services, events, and reminders. Next Sunday, February 16th, will be the annual Kyodan membership meeting and New Year's luncheon. At 10 a.m., we will start with a short service in remembrance of Sangha members who passed away last year, welcome new members, celebrate our centenarian Sangha members, and honor Kyotokai members who have or will reach the age of 80 this year. A short membership meeting will take place after the service, which will be followed by a New Year's luncheon in the social hall with owner food, entertainment, fellowship, bingo, and other games. There will be lots of prize giveaways, so you won't want to miss out. We hope you already registered, and even if you forgot, you are still welcome to attend. There'll be more than enough food and prizes for everyone. The 2025 Gotha Fest will be held on Sunday, February 23rd at Pune Honganji Mission at 9:30 a.m. It is an annual sharing of gathas by most temples of the Big Island. Kono Honganji Sangha will participate, and we have begun practicing our song. Darren Katayama has written Dharma lyrics to a pop song by Bruno Mars and Rose entitled APT. It's a catchy, fast-paced song, currently very popular on YouTube. Our version is entitled NAB Namandabs. We encourage our Sangha members to attend this fun event and support the performers, even if you do not wish to sing on stage. You can either go by private car, or we'll have a van to assist with those of you needing transportation. A sign-up sheet for transportation will be circulated. Anyone wishing to attend, please be sure to sign up so transportation and arrangements can be made. There will be no Sunday service here at the temple on that day. Sunday, March 2nd, BWA will sponsor the annual Eshini Kakushini Day service at 10 a.m. Guest speaker will be Yoshiko Umitani, Honorary President of the Hawaii Federation of Buddhist Women's Association and wife of Bishop Toshiyuki Umitani. Sunday, March 9th, the 13th Annual Habe Buddha Day celebration, that's Hawaii Association of International Buddhists, will be held at 9:30 a.m. here in the temple. Keynote speaker will be Reverend Paul Ananda Norman, Executive Director of Neighborhood Place of Pune. Registration is not required, but if you're able to please re-register by clicking on the link in Reverend Blayne's weekly email update. Please attend the event like you would on any Sunday. Sunday, March 16th, Spring Ohigan service will be held at 10 a.m. Guest speaker will be Reverend Kerry Kiyohara of Makawao Honganji on Maui. Any other announcements, Reverend Blayne or anybody? Okay, those on Zoom, you may leave at any time. Those of you here in person, refreshments will be served in the conference room. Mahalo to Elaine Nakagawa, Linda Nagai, and anyone else who brought goodies to share. Your attendance today is most sincerely appreciated. Please stay healthy and safe. Hope to see you at next Sunday's annual Kyodan membership meeting and New Year's luncheon.